Hey, gorgeous people. Viv going live from York. So, I wanted to do a live about finding your authentic voice. So, this is something that I mentioned last week. Go and watch that just from my own childhood. And so, I thought I'd do some of my top tips for how to find your authentic voice. So, if this is something that's sort of bothered you, that sometimes you overthink what you've said to people in the past, or you don't feel that you get the chance to speak your truth, or you've never really felt that you're saying what you want to say, or you feel like you're hiding behind a mask, or any of those things, then I'm just going to give you some top tips that I've used in my own life. So I'd say the first thing is sort of, I don't like to call them mantras because it really annoys me, but sort of positive self-talk. And one of the things I like the most, and it's happened in a training course I've did, but a long time ago, and then popped up in another one I did recently, is in the morning when you get up, the first thing you do, have a drink of water or whatever, because obviously water is really good for meaning that you can speak well with a good voice, but also you need to be hydrated for your brain to work, blah, blah, blah. But I love the phrase, I have a right to be here and take up space. I actually like putting in, I have a right to be here and take up my space, just because it reminds you that you're amazing. This is something I talk about all the time. You're 1 in 8 billion, I think, is the chance that you're actually here. You have a right to be here and take up your space on the earth and to share your gifts and everything with the world. So it's just a nice reminder. So that's the sort of thing that I would write on a little post-it note and plonk it somewhere, put it next to where you brush your teeth or something like that, just to remind yourself there is only one you, so make the most of it, and share yourself with the world. The second thing that's really helped me is sort of breath work. Now, there's various different ways you can do this. There's box breathing. There's one I did the other day. There's so many different things. But breath work is really important because we tend to shallow breathe, especially when we're stressed. So if you can get your body used to breathing really well, if you're in a situation where sometimes you don't speak up, or you stumble over your words, or you don't say what you want to say, or whatever, then actually breathing up here is really, really going to stop you from being able to find your authentic voice and speak the way you want to. So doing that when you're not in a stressful situation is a really good idea. So there's various different types. One of the ones that I really like for sort of feeling positive about myself is, I think it came from Tony Robbins, but I'm not sure. So you inhale to the count of 4, hold your breath for the count of 8, exhale for the count of 8, and hold for the count of 4, and then inhale for the count of 4, hold for the count of 8, exhale for the count of 8, and hold for the count of 4. So, but there's various different ones. So go and look up some sort of good breathing things. But even if the worst comes to the worst, then just occasionally during the day, remember to take some deep breaths. And this is why one of the reasons I love essential oils, because if you're using those to support yourself, then actually when you open a bottle, you tend to take a really good deep breath anyway. And because they smell amazing, you're probably going to do that more than once. You can also use yourself as a diffuser and actually actively take 3 deep breaths. And if you're doing that a couple of times a day, at least you're reminding your body how to breathe well, oxygenate well, and you're getting the double whammy of using the oils. The third thing I would say is going to sound a bit weird, but I would say having gratitude is a really good way to find yourself. So finding little things to be grateful for, other people, experiences you've had, even if you've had a bad day, the fact that maybe you remembered to breathe well, just that sort of looking outwards from yourself to other people who have supported you, or other things that have happened, or opportunities that you've had, or synchronicities that have happened. I think that looking outwards and feeling grateful for things is absolutely amazing, and really helps you then sit in your own power, and therefore be able to speak your truth. It's a really good, if you're into sort of chakras and that sort of thing, then today is the day of the throat chakra. So doing extra of these things on Thursdays, if you're into that sort of energy awareness of your energy being, then Thursday is a really good day to actively look at finding ways to support your vocal cords and the way that you see the world, because it is your throat chakra, and that's quite often where these things get stuck. If you're someone who's recurrently having, recurrent like throat infections and stuff, it would be definitely worth looking into sort of finding ways to maybe start looking at how you can support yourself, because that's another sign. So I just thought I'd share those things. Another thing that I would say is really useful, if you're into, again, the sort of positive thinking stuff, but wanting it all done in one nice little neat package, is the Ho'oponopono press. This is something I really, really, really like, because it includes sort of gratitude, repentance. I can never remember the other ones, but it's the phrase, I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. And I'm sure there's a certain order you're supposed to do it, but I don't remember what it is. I just go with, as long as you're saying those 4 phrases and really sort of feeling them. So I'd say if we're talking about authentic voice, then putting your hand on your heart and connecting to your throat, or at least being aware of the connection between those two, is really good. When you say, I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you can send that out to other people, and you can also bring it into yourself. So that's another little thing. I'd also say, if you've got essential oils or want to know more about that, then get in touch. But spearmint, for example, is the essential oil for confident speech. So if it is actual vocalizing of how you say things that you want to feel more confident about, then spearmint is a fantastic oil. It's a fantastic oil anyway. I made some spearmint chocolates yesterday because I love it so much. And there's various other things. So I very often, when I'm using my oils, I will always put them around my throat chakra anyway, because it's like you're wearing perfume, except for obviously they're not laden with toxins. You're going to get that breath thing, and you're supporting this bit of yourself. And this is quite often, if you think that we've spent a lot of us have spent a lot of time in places where we've been told that we're not allowed to speak, you have to keep quiet, speak only when spoken to. When you have spoken out, say at school when you're a child, maybe you got laughed at for giving the wrong answer or stuff. We've got all these things we need to sort of work through to get to that place where we're accepting of who we are, and all the comparisons with other people. So if any of that's resonating with you and you'd like to talk to me about any work I can do with you, then part of what I do with my shamanic healing work and with my essential oils is helping people find their authentic voice, because it is something that I've been working on for quite a few years with myself. It's one of the reasons I did quite a lot of the training that I did, was to try and be happy in myself and happy with how I communicate. And obviously, as a child who didn't talk very much, it took me quite a while to get to that point where I was happy with how I sounded and what I was saying. And obviously I do all these all the time now, and I just sort of quite often wing it, because I'm happy with where I'm at and what I'm sharing and what I'm saying and stuff like that. So if you want to talk to me about that, I have 20-minute free discovery calls about any ways I can help you. If this resonates, if you think this might resonate with someone else, please feel free to share the link with them, with whoever you're thinking. And always happy to talk about oils, always happy to talk about healing work, especially if you're feeling that you haven't really found your voice or your authentic place in the world. So if any of that resonates with you, please get in touch. I'm more than happy to talk things through. And remember, you're a fantastic, amazing human being. Love you, and see you next week.